listening comprehension. In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversation and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section, and each part has special directions. All questions should be answered on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers. You will not be allowed to take notes or write in your test book when you take the actual TOEFL test. It will be helpful to work on this test the same way. Part A. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. Neither the conversations nor the questions will be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Finally, find the number of the question on your answer sheet and shade in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Listen to an example. On the recording, you will hear,
"Boy, it's rough out there. I almost got into 3 accidents on a 15-minute drive."
"People seem to forget how to drive when it snows."
What does the man mean?
In your book, you will read, A. Forgetting how to drive causes accidents. B. The boy forgot how to drive and had an accident. C. Driving appears to get worse when it snows. D. The man needs to learn how to drive in the snow. You learn from the conversation that people tend to drive worse in the snow. The best answer to the question, "What does the man mean?" is C. Driving appears to get worse when it snows. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Of Test A, 8, Part A.
Question number 1.
Jessica still hasn't completed her project.
It would go quicker if she turned off her TV.
What does the man imply about Jessica? Question number 2.
Could you tell me where the commissioner's office is located?
Why don't you come with me? I'm passing by there.
What will the man do for the woman? Question number 3.
Take the next left.
But the sign says no left turn.
Where are they? Question number 4.
Hey, why don't we go to the beach?
Sounds great, but the Johnsons are coming for lunch. Remember?
What are they probably going to do? Question number 5.
Looks like rain today.
I guess that cancels the office picnic.
What does the man assume? Question number 6.
Joe hasn't been to work for 3 days now. I hope he's okay.
I'll give him a call tonight.
What will the man do? Question number 7.
It says in this brochure that New York City is one of the safest places to visit.
The person who wrote that must never have been there.
What does the woman mean? Question number 8.
Did you hear that Mike lost his job last week?
You wouldn't think so by the way he's spending money.
What does the man mean? Question number 9.
Hey, look, isn't that Jenny?
It sure is. I haven't seen her in ages.
What does the man mean? Question number 10.
I'm starving, but my class starts in 5 minutes.
There are some vending machines on the first floor.
What does the woman suggest? Question number 11.
Are you going to the movies tonight?
No, I have something else in mind.
What will the woman do tonight? Question number 12.
Oh no, I forgot my jacket at home.
I'll see if my sister has one you can borrow.
What will the man do for the woman? Question number 13.
I really enjoyed that movie.
I have the video, if you would like to see it again.
What will the woman do for the man? Question number 14.
How do you put this toy together?
I'm not sure. Here, let's read the directions.
What are they going to do? Question number 15.
Your pictures turned out great.
They turned out better than the vacation did.
What does the man imply? Question number 16.
Every time I start the engine, I hear a whistling noise.
Let me take a look under the hood.
Where did this conversation probably take place? Question number 17.
I heard you were going to start your new job today.
I was, but my old boss called and offered me a better wage, so I went back to my previous position.
What influenced the woman's job choice? Question number 18.
I need to see a form of identification in order to cash this check. Do you have a driver's license?
Will my student ID do?
What does the man imply? Question number 19.
Hello. Is Jerry home?
I'm sorry. Jerry attends a night class every Monday and Wednesday evening.
What days will Jerry be home? Question number 20.
Should we leave a tip?
It wasn't the waiter's fault. He didn't cook the food. He just delivered it.
What might be the problem? Question number 21.
What about the third house we saw?
Yes, it was nice, but the street was very busy. It could be dangerous for the children.
What's wrong with the house? Question number 22.
I heard on the news that the heat wave is passing.
It can't happen soon enough.
What does the man mean? Question number 23.
Did you see the headlines in the newspaper today? We had better stock up on firewood and canned goods.
Don't be silly. The storm will miss us by miles.
What is the woman concerned about? Question number 24.
I was here earlier, and I'm missing a shirt. Has anyone turned anything in?
No one has. Have you checked the washers and dryers?
Where are they? Question number 25.
Pete, I have been studying so long, my eyelids are falling shut.
Why don't you go back to the dorm and catch a few winks?
What does the man suggest the woman do? Question number 26.
What can I do for you, sir?
I'd like 2 pounds of chopped beef and 2 top sirloins, please.
Where does the woman probably work? Question number 27.
I'm looking for a toolkit.
You'll find them in aisle 3.
Where does this conversation probably take place? Question number 28.
What did you think of the biology conference?
It wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
What does the man mean? Question number 29.
Did you hear about the old movie theater going out of business?
I suspected as much. They've been doing downhill for years.
What does the man imply? Question number 30.
How's your job going?
Same old thing.
What does the man mean?
This is the end of Test A, 8, Part A. Directions. In Part B, you will hear longer conversations. You will hear several questions after each conversation. Neither the conversations nor the questions will be repeated. After you hear the question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Finally, find the number of the question on your answer sheet and shade in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you should not take notes or write on your test pages. Test 8, Part B.
Questions 31 through 34.
Looks like you've had a rough day at office, honey.
I have. The case I'm dealing with is emotionally explosive. It involves foster parents who want to adopt the boy they've raised for the past 5 years, but the state won't allow the adoption.
Why won't they allow it? Have there been problems in the home?
No problems. Actually, the boy is quite happy there. The reason is that the couple is white and the child is black. The state has laws promoting race matching in adoptions.
That doesn't seem fair to the child in this case. Is there a black family waiting to adopt the boy?
No one is contesting the adoption.
Can you help them with permanent custody?
Well, I'm trying. We have our first court date tomorrow. This is the type of case where you attack the justness of the law and play on emotions of the judge.
Question number 31. What's the man's profession? Question number 32. What's the relationship between the man and woman? Question number 33. What is the problem? Question number 34. What will the man do tomorrow? Questions 35 through 38.
You've been fighting this cold for a week. Why don't you see a doctor?
I don't go to doctors.
Why not?
Because if they make a mistake, it could be fatal.
You're being silly.
No, I'm not. I saw a story on the news about a man who had been misdiagnosed. The medicine they gave him caused respiratory failure. Just yesterday, I read about a lady who was diagnosed with cancer, then went through chemotherapy only to find out that the doctor had mixed up her x-rays with those of another patient.
Mistakes always make it into the news. The majority of physicians take every precaution with their patients and are very reputable.
I'd rather not press my luck.
Question number 35. What is the woman's problem? Question number 36. What is the woman afraid of? Question number 37. How does the man think the woman is reacting? Question number 38. How does the man describe most physicians?
This is the end of Test 8, Part B. Part C. Directions. In Part C, you will hear several talks. You will hear some questions after each talk. Neither the talks nor the questions will be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your book and choose the best answer. Finally, find the number of the question on your answer sheet and shade in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Listen to an example.
Gene Kelly, singer, dancer, actor, and choreographer, died yesterday from complications resulting from a series of strokes. He was 83 years old. Kelly film career spanned over 3 decades. Thought his talent were many, Kelly will be remembered most for his dancing. He danced his way into our hearts through legendary movies such as Singing in the Rain and American in Paris. These, along with his many other films, will help keep Kelly's memory alive for decades to come.
Now listen to a sample question.
What does this talk concern?
In your book, you will read A. A movie promotion. B. An award ceremony. C. A dance studio advertisement. D. An obituary. The best answer to the question, what does this talk concern, is D. An obituary. Therefore, the correct choice is D. Now listen to another sample question.
What is Gene Kelly most remembered for?
In your book, you will read A. His choreography. B. His acting. C. His dancing. D. His legend. The best answer to this question, what is Gene Kelly most remembered for, is C. His dancing. Therefore, the correct choice is C. Remember, you should not take notes or write on your test pages. Test 8, Part C.
Questions 39 through 42 refer to the following talk.
From birth, a person's brain is a work in progress. Research has shown that childhood experiences are a powerful influence in the formation of a person's brain circuits for music, math, language, and emotions. Trillions of neurons within the brain are waiting to be utilized. Once used, they become integrated into the circuitry of the brain by connecting to other neurons, and if they are not used, they may die. These neurons are stimulated by childhood experiences and can determine whether a child grows up to be intelligent, self-assured, and articulate, or dull, timid and tongue-tied. Genetic makeup only determines the brain main circuit. A child's environment, however, is the component that shapes the trillions of other neurons connections that outlines person's future. Researchers assert that it is vital to expose young children to a variety of experiences in logic, language, music, and emotion before these neurons die. If children are not exposed to a variety of experiences early in life, it will become more difficult, if not impossible, to develop these skills later.
Question number 39. What is the focus of this lecture? Question number 40. To what does the speaker attribute a person's future success or failure? Question number 41. What happens to neurons that are not used? Question number 42. Why is it important to expose children to a wide variety of experiences? Questions 43 through 46 refer to the following talk.
For 23 years, she had been known as Alice Metzinger, a teacher and restaurant consultant who lived an exemplary life in Oregon. In reality, she was Catherine Ann Power, a fugitive wanted for manslaughter and robbery. One weekend in 1970, Power and 5 others planned a bank heist with the intentions of using the money to buy explosives in order to melt down the wheels of trains that carried weapons for American troops in Cambodia. They then planned to transfer the weapons to the Black Panthers resistance movement. Their plans went awry when law enforcement officer William Schroeder, who responded to a silent alarm, was gunned down by one of Power's cohorts during the robbery. Power was one of the 2 gang members that escaped, and she was placed on the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list. For 9 years, Power lived underground in women's communes before making her way to Oregon, where she acquired her new name from the birth certificate of a deceased infant. Over 2 decades of a double identity proved to be too much for Power to handle, so in September of 1993, she turned herself in to the FBI. She pleaded guilty to charges of armed robbery and the reduced charge of manslaughter, thus bringing an end to years of deceit.
Question number 43. For what was Catherine Ann Power wanted by the FBI? Question number 44. What had Power's gang planned to do with the weapons? Question number 45. How did Powers obtain her new identity? Question number 46. What event ruined the gang's plans? Questions 47 through 50 refer to the following talk.
As Japan was refining its variant of Western-style democracy, its artists and designers were busy adding an Oriental touch to Western designer products. Everything from furniture and textiles to graphic art and objects for everyday use have been borrowed and refashioned to appeal to the Japanese taste. In 1953, designer Zenichi Mano created a prize-winning Matsushita table radio by placing 2 different but related grid patterns on the radio's front to resemble the wooden shutters and sliding shoji screen of the Katsura Detached Palace in Kyoto. Furniture maker Sori Yanagi took ordinary plywood and molded it into a stool that embodied the delicate lines of calligraphy. The Japanese prefer things to be more compact, often due to the size of their living quarters, but they also see it as liberating. So in 1984, designers took the stereo speaker and reduced it to the weight of a seashell, which could be easily mounted on a wall. In their own beautiful way, the Japanese borrowed what pleased them, both in fashion and democracy, and refined them to make them their own.
Question number 47. What is the main topic of this talk? Question number 48. Why did Japanese designers refashion Western products? Question number 49. Why do the Japanese prefer things smaller? Question number 50. To what does the speaker compare the redesigning of Western products?